The savagery of combat, the terror of war, the fear of injury, the wounded cry for help. Someone has to be there to save them.
Okay, concentrate on your breathing.
There's one elite profession that can handle it all. It's what they're trained to do. Tonight, on Truth, Duty, Valor, they are saviors on the battlefield, relievers of pain, angels of mercy, whether on land or at sea. They call themselves medics. Two brutal world wars, combat like the world has never seen, horrors beyond belief, suffering on a grand scale. Canadian soldiers, sailors, and airmen put themselves in harm's way. The price of freedom is dear. Many make the ultimate sacrifice, but many are also saved. War in the trenches of Flanders Field and on the beaches of Normandy has created a specialized soldier, one whose mandate is to save his comrades under any circumstances, often under fire. They are renowned for their heroism. The combat medic is born.
Performing contusions. Do I feel any tenderness? Check fetal pulse on this side.
Requesting CAS evac.
Do I feel anything?
Today they are called medical technicians. In the Canadian Forces, they do it all. Rescues.
We're going right where you are, right?
Lieutenant, mid him down! Put him right on the backboard.
Trauma treatment.
Where does it hurt?
Humanitarian aid. Battlefield tactics. They are expertly trained by the Canadian Forces in anatomy, physiology, and advanced first aid. Few who join have previous medical experience. Through intense training, they learn quickly. They are the first line of response. Medics save lives. Corporal Tim Ferguson is a medic and veteran of recent combat in Afghanistan. Tim is currently taking an advanced medical course at CFB Borden. He understands how critical medics have become to soldiers in the field.
I feel that this last tour that I just did in Afghanistan, medics became medics. Throughout the past, we've been in clinics and we do support, but not the support that we're doing in Afghanistan. In Afghanistan, especially as a dismounted medic, we're on the front lines. We're one of the only trades that does direct support with the infantry or the combat arms. We're a bayonet on the ground until we're needed. What I feel that people don't really fully understand, and this is even some military members about military medics, is that we do go into harm's way. We're not your typical in the rear with the gear. We're as front line as any combat arms unit will be, and we're there 24/7, right, to go and aid the soldier. I think to be a medic, you have to have a lot of different attributes. You have to care when others won't care. You have to, at the end of the day, when everyone's tired, that's when medics start working. We do everything that everyone else is doing, and then we still have to go out and make sure that the boys know that we're there for them and we're willing to give them that care when needed. And ultimately, you have to have the courage to carry out medical care under fire, under stressful conditions where you have massive traumas coming in and you have multiple patients coming in. You know, in every type of setting that you can think of, we deliver the medical care.
Am I hearing any breathing, though?
Medics always train for the worst. It's all about being prepared. Often, that means putting their lives on the line to save others. But why do they put themselves at risk? Why do they serve others so selflessly? Corporal Sean Barter understands why. He's been there and knows. It's all about the soldiers, your comrades.
It was a big thing overseas like that as a DM driver. It was getting them to see their in clinical stuff, just dealing with patients on just smaller levels, like small abrasions or anything like that. But to get them, like to see them go out and actually do and help the troops, it kind of just pointed me in the right direction, saying I want to do this. It's one of those things. It's part of the job. It's the same thing if you're a soldier. You're willing to put your life on the line with the infantry. You're out in the battlefield. You've got to put your life on the line. So we're there with them. It's the same thing that goes for us. We had to get the job done and then deal with the aftermath afterwards. It's about courage, it's about pride, it's about the CF, and it's about the troops.
When we return, junior medics undergo training, their first baptism of fire. It's an intensity many are not ready for.
OK. Minimum 4 de nos personnels qui ont été attaqués avec des RPG dans les bunkers qui sont là. Des glow sticks rouges, il y a quelqu'un. Des glow sticks verts, il y a personne.
Training to be a medical technician is tough and thorough. It has to be. People depend on a medic. It takes a special individual to do this job. In Borden, Ontario, they teach medics all the skills necessary to deploy anywhere in the world, to save lives, to make a difference. Lieutenant Colonel Simard is the commandant of the Canadian Forces Medical School. In her more than 20 years of service, she has seen a lot around the world. She is a veteran that understands the importance of both the training and values the young students are given. This is instruction that will last them a lifetime.
Un médecin ou une infirmière qui vient ici va apprendre à transposer ses habiletés, ses connaissances médicales ou infirmières dans un milieu militaire. Alors, la même chose avec nos techniciens médicaux. Alors, ceux qui ont suivi le cours de technicien ambulancier, par exemple, vont devoir si vous soignez un patient sur le bord d'une route comme ici, vous n'avez pas à vous préoccuper de vous faire blesser vous-même. Mais si vous faites ça en Afghanistan sous le feu ennemi, bien, vous devez vous protéger des balles. Alors, il y a d'autres exigences qui doivent venir en compte, qui doivent être tenues en compte, qui doivent être considérées. Puis pour considérer ces choses-là, les gens doivent avoir déjà mentalement l'image, la préparation pour pouvoir traiter dans un milieu comme ça. Alors, quand on les amène ici à l'école, on transfère ces connaissances-là dans notre milieu militaire. Alors, il y a ça qu'on fait. Puis souvent aussi, la majorité des professions, les gens vont avoir plus de responsabilités au sein des forces qu'il y en aurait normalement dans un milieu civil, dans un environnement de travail civil.
Compagnon, je vais m'occuper de vous autres.
These are new medics undergoing training. Their scenario is tough.
Fait que fais ton évaluation pour définir tes priorités.
The training new students receive has two important functions. The first is to properly use their newly acquired skills
Dans ton évaluation, c'est quoi tu as vérifié sur cette personne?
correctly.
Si elle avait des hémorragies sans respirer, ça avait un pouls carotidien irradiant.
Wrong analysis or treatment could have tragic results.
Là, présentement, on perd beaucoup de temps.
The second is stress management. Functioning both physically and mentally under stressful conditions is challenging.
Ça marche pas, c'est normal.
Very challenging.
La compagnie d'infanterie est maintenant à 400 mètres.
Though the scenario is simulated, it still has the desired effect.
Les obus de mortier commencent à décoller de le mortier. Ça commence à tomber tout le tour.
To get them thinking,
Il faut que vous bougez d'ici.
considering options, making the best choices under difficult conditions.
Ils ont les lames qui tirent maintenant avec le canon! Ils vont défaire vos véhicules, vous allez perdre vos patients! Bougez!
Sometimes there is no right or wrong choice. You just do your best.
Je crois que ça a bien été. Ça a été rapide, vraiment rapide. Dans ma tête, là, ça a peut-être été un petit peu plus long à l'extérieur pour les autres qui sont arrivés par après. Moi, j'ai pas vraiment eu le temps de voir après ça ce qui se passait. Il fallait que je trouve les victimes le plus vite possible. Puis ça se déroule très, très vite. C'est pas comme à l'école où on est dans un milieu que tout est parfait, qu'on peut prendre le temps de donner nos traitements. Là, c'est complètement l'inverse. Il faut donner nos traitements le plus rapidement possible puis s'en aller de là le plus vite possible.
L'autre, elle marchait-tu?
Je crois qu'il faut être capable de bien gérer son stress, puis être capable de prendre des décisions, puis de vivre avec les décisions, même si c'est pas les meilleures qu'on a prises, c'est les meilleures qu'on pouvait prendre, qu'on a pensé prendre sur le moment. Il faut être capable de prendre des bonnes décisions, puis vivre avec. Je pense que l'entraînement qu'on reçoit, c'est le meilleur qu'on pourra recevoir. C'est tout du monde qui sont qualifiés, qui savent ce qu'ils font, qui aiment ce qu'ils font. Puis c'est du monde qui sont professionnels aussi. Les instructeurs qu'on a ici, là, ils savent de quoi ils parlent. C'est important de prendre les conseils qu'ils nous donnent, puis les écouter quand ils nous donnent des conseils pour que nous autres, on puisse développer nos connaissances puis être aussi professionnels qu'eux.
Passe au prochain. Toi, tu veux trouver tes priorités. Combien de priorité 1, priorité 2, 3 pour tes renforts? On that scenario, it wasn't bad. That was like as the first scenario in their case, that was pretty good regarding that on that way. The idea is to get the casualty out of there as soon as you can because they were under contact. So it was bullets flying all over the place. So they have to get them out of there, and we have to bring those new students to think that way because they just came back from UNSIC in Montreal. It's a paramedic school, and they trained them in urban way, like it's safe and cops secure the scene and it's a car accident. But now we have to bring all of those knowledge that they acquire over there and bring it to the green way, military way. So it's not secure and we're under contact. So they have to get them out of the bunker as soon as they can, put them in the ambulance and bring them where they're gonna be treated and it's safe. And even one of them realized, wow, we're gonna die here. He looked at me and said, we're leaving the gear and that's it, we're out of here. So that's what we expect from them. Well, that was a way of thinking, I'm protecting my patient. I leave my equipment there and my patient, I gotta bring it to safety. That was the plan of it. And they did it. So they accomplished the mission when we start to put some stress on them.
Another 200.
When we return, combat, the ultimate stress for soldiers and medics. Combat, the very real possibility of casualties. Exercises and training, the same real possibilities. Military service has inherent dangers. Medics are of critical importance to everyone in the military. Somewhere. Sometime.
Okay, vital signs. Give me blood pressure.
But they can't always be there, which is why medics love teaching others.
Any jugular vein distension? Negative. Trachea deviation?
Teaching to save their comrades, perhaps save even themselves.
The blood's still coming down. You can see it seeping through your fingers. So what you got to do, you got a partner here. You're not using quick clot first. What do you have next? What can you use?
This group of soldiers from the Royal Canadian Horse Artillery are going to Afghanistan in less than 4 months.
Grab his hand, tell him where his injury is, put it onto the injury, and let the bleeding stop, or at least him start it. Otherwise, gloves get put on quickly, and you have a glove hand onto the injury site. Come up and this is what you see. blood in. It's just food coloring and water. All right, it's in. Come on, guys, he's bleeding.
They have to pay attention.
So after you've got direct pressure with your hands, and remember, your whole job here is to squeeze those wound edges open and to stop the bleed. As you saw in the cup.
There is a good chance they too may need this training.
So troops, you need to understand that you either do this or you're going to die. You need to learn the skills that you learned here, because the truth is that if you have a bleed on your arm and you're stuck in a vehicle after the bomb is hit and you can't get out, if you don't stop the bleeding from your arm, you're going to die. If with all the stress that you have and all the pressure you can find, that means driving your shoulder into the vehicle to stop the bleed, then that's exactly what you need to do. And that's just the reality of the situation. Stop the bleed or you die.
Canadian Forces Base Petawawa, training ground of warriors. 2 field ambulance, veterans of many hazardous deployments. Mission-proven, frontline soldiers. Real-world experience. For the next 2 days, the medics at 2 field ambulance are putting these soldiers through a series of tests to prepare them for the worst-case scenarios, teaching them how to survive.
So what we're developing here is a course for the average soldier, a medical course designed to give them some specific medical skills so that when they encounter situations like we're occurring right now overseas, they have the confidence and the skills to help the soldiers survive the crucial first moments of their injuries. It's the soldiers that are out on patrol need to be able to look after themselves in the first moments. Not everybody can be supplied, obviously, with a full medical team. The patrols are out on their own, doing their own thing, often very remote locations. So it's very important that they get proper medical care until they can be transported back to the hospital that we have in Afghanistan for further definitive care and stabilization. And should the soldiers require any more specialist care, we often evacuate them out of Afghanistan to other receiving countries and eventually back here to Canada. So what we're giving these soldiers is a set of medical skills that they can help save the lives of themselves, their comrades, and their fellow soldiers should they encounter those medical emergencies in theater.
The first scenario is typical of events occurring every day in Afghanistan. Today, a traffic accident. Veteran military personnel dress as Afghan civilians, role-playing based on their own real experiences.
Check out the guys in the bison.
Come in, or we have to stop you.
How do we look at the chest?
Start stripping them down.
Start stripping them down. Get the body armor off. Right? You can't see it, you can't treat it, right? Okay, so you tape it down on the 3 sides, create a flutter valve so air comes out, but it doesn't go in. Okay, so we'll assume you have it taped down because you pulled the tape out of your first aid kits. Now we check pulse. Okay, it's got a pulse. It's very weak and very rapid. So one of you guys needs to stay up to the head, keep an ear for his breathing, make sure he's still breathing. So next thing you know, you got to get the guys, got to get information to hire because they need to know what they're expecting. Okay. Okay, we'll cut it there, guys.
First off, not bad, guys. I know it's some of your guys' first time doing anything like this, so you did pretty well. Realistically, we wouldn't be this long getting on scene. Okay, I'm gonna tell you, we would not be this long getting on scene. But in worst case scenario is what you got to think. That could be you in that hatch. Last thing you want, okay? Or your buddy. You need to get him out as soon as you can.
When you're checking casualties out, get right down in their face, especially in here or down in a hatch. You got to get your face right down in there, check them over. Standard things, ABCs, airway, breathing, circulation. Standard across the board, patient to patient to patient.
It's time for another scenario. Time to be tested once again. IEDs. It stands for Improvised Explosive Device, also known as booby traps. They are deadly and often used weapons in any theater of operations. These soldiers have to be ready for the worst.
Certain responsibilities that you have certain people you have to listen to. Each have unique skills that are used throughout your section, okay? A few more people here than maybe you're used to, but you also have to know that everybody's got a job and everybody's got to pay attention to what that job's going to be, right? This way, guys. Oh.
Everybody down! Vehicles on fire! Vehicles on fire! Vehicles on fire!
first aid, let's go. Okay, first aid. Bleeding, boys, stop bleeding right away. Oh, my leg! Justin! Now, I need Justin. Sir, can you back away, please? More pressure. What's that? Oh, guy here has the fracture.
Bleeding through. Come on, what are you gonna do? 2 bandages bleeding through.
3 bandages. Need medevac, LZ location to follow.
All right, 0, roger out. Helicopter en route.
It's bleeding a lot. Help!
We'll be fine. We'll be here very soon, in 20 minutes.
Casualty collection area, I think it's a secure place.
Okay, motor Fleming. Brad, 3 guys. We need an LZ.
When we return, the carnage and training continues. How will our soldiers do?
Walk. Try. Walk. They're all dead in there.
Horrific wounds and injuries, the reality of war, training exercises, and even life. Medics are the experts on wounds. Naturally, they are the best to simulate them for training.
See, that's why whenever...
Moulage is the art of applying mock injuries for the purpose of training. It dates back to the Renaissance period when wax wounds were first used for training doctors in the French army. Medics have become FX experts. Some of the wounds are almost too gory, too real, making wounds as realistic as possible, making the training as valuable as possible.
So the fragmentation wound that I'm doing right now is actually going to be an active bleeder. So what we do is we put a tube into it and have it actually bleed out. So we'll have a syringe with it full of blood. So when the casualty's out there, they'll have that hidden in their pocket and they'll start to squeeze it so it'll actually be bleeding as they're out there. So it's something that the TCCCers are going to have to react to, and they're going to have to stop the bleeding, whether they use the quick clot, which we have, which cauterizes the wound, or they're going to put a tourniquet on it and then a dressing over top, or else the patient obviously will bleed out, and we don't want that.
For burns, you have to do small pieces about the size of a toonie individually. It just adds to a better effect than just slapping a big chunk of wax on. You just get better, it looks more like blistering, and you get a nice burn pattern going on the skin. I can usually do this in about half an hour, 40 minutes, if I'm going to do her whole face and everything.
To protect medics evacuating wounded from battle, the Army uses Bison armored ambulances. Weight, 13 tons. Top speed, 100 kilometers per hour. Crew, 2. Range, 650 kilometers. Engine, 275 horsepower, 2-cycle turbocharged diesel. It is now day 2 of training. The learning curve has been steep for the soldiers. They are getting better, but there is more to learn. A lot more.
You're gonna have to take charge on your own as well. You see a casualty down, you're gonna have to figure out what you're gonna do for him. And then the team leaders are gonna organize our sections that we go in all around team. Going in there, we'll go ACAC. So Alpha team right, Bravo team left, Charlie staggered going in. Questions? I hope not, because I have no more answers. Move up! Triple C guys in the tent, find out what's going on.
Move him to the bunker.
Get out of here, okay?
This is it, their final test to qualify.
Come on.
They have to stay calm under stress. Learn to move the wounded from danger.
Yeah, we got it.
Deal with the priorities of injury. Use proper medical procedures. Help the wounded survive.
Yeah.
Want to put an occlusive dressing on both sides. He should start breathing better, okay?
Come on, bud, stay still. You'll be all right. You'll be all right.
Obviously, there.
Okay, 2 guys on him. We have to move him inside a bunker. 1, 2, 3. Go. We got on the right here.
To the other side. Where's my hand? Don't worry about your hand, man. You'll be all right.
Do we have anything to pump her legs off? Do we have any blankets, coats, anything? You're gonna be okay, buddy. Hold down there. Stable.
Excellent, Master Bombardier. Very good. All right. Excellent. Once you're in there, okay, you look and you see people are talking to you and they're breathing and they're moving. They're good to go. That's all I have. Do you have anything else?
If it's a traumatic death, if there's no blood for that heart to pump, no amount of CPR will bring that person back, okay? If there's no blood to pump, your pumping isn't gonna do anything. If they bled out and that's why they've died, unfortunately they've died. So don't be afraid. A bunch of people are having that thing, saying, I can't say they're dead, it has to be a doctor, it has to be whomever. A traumatic death, if they're dead, don't waste time trying to revive someone when there's possibly someone else who could be injured and could die because of your lack of attention to them.
These soldiers have passed the test. But when we return, an even more intense medical training course awaits.
Remember your husband and kids are waiting for you, girl.
Hey, get behind something now. We got air burst 200 meters. Shut up. Oh. Yeah!
Combat in Afghanistan and Iraq. Both Canadian and American armies have realized the need for advanced medical care for their wounded soldiers. Medics can't always be there. Field hospitals can be hours away. Soldiers were dying because they couldn't get advanced medical help. This was the catalyst for the birth of Tactical Combat Casualty Care. Taught at 2 field ambulance over a 2-week period, this high-intensity course provides soldiers with the medical knowledge to save lives. And it's working.
The TCCC stands for Tactical Combat Casualty Care. It was an idea that came out of the United States in the mid-'80s, where some Special Forces medical personnel identified that the standard approach that we use in the civilian world to deal with injured people did not really work very well in the battlefield scenario.
Get up! Get up! Get up!
And from that, and from the data they gathered, they modified basically the approach that a medic or a soldier would take when confronted with a casualty in a wartime scenario. The data has shown that battlefield injury, most people, 90% of people will die right then and there. We want to reduce that percentage. So Tactical Combat Casualty Care is designed to bring that number down.
Remember your husband and kids are waiting.
Yeah, that's one thing I really like about the course. What you see is an exchange of ideas. You see the soldier teaching the medic the tactical skills necessary to stay alive, but you see the medic teaching the soldier the medical skills necessary to save somebody in a tactical situation if something were to happen. And I think the medics, they've come to realize that there's a sort of if you will, a real respect to what they know and what they understand from the soldier that before they might not have appreciated simply because the medic was there and just did their job.
Why would medics want to teach this course? Caring.
Well, what it does for the combat soldier himself is it just puts a few more tools in their toolbox and the ability to save their own lives and their partners' lives out in the field. There's not enough medics to partner up one medic per man, so therefore they all have to pitch in. I've been to Afghanistan twice now, in a total of 13 months. I've seen a lot of stuff going on. When I come home, I've gained knowledge and experience from being over there. These people who are here today, most of them have the students have not been there before at all. So it gives me a chance to give them something back, something they can put in their pocket and realize when they get over there that they're not in Kansas anymore, basically. I enjoy what I'm doing. I really enjoy coming to work and doing this teaching, taking them under my wing, basically, and giving them the knowledge that I can possibly give to them.
Every medic wants to help, whether they are there or not. Teaching is part of their code.
This course is saving lives because these people are going to be on the front line. They're going to be the immediate response that happens. There's only one medic per platoon, but for every section, there's 2 TCCC soldiers. So for every platoon, there's at least 6 soldiers that are TCCC qualified. That gives us much more coverage on the ground, and they're going to be the immediate response for their friends within their own sections.
The soldiers on this course come from every trade in the Army. Vehicle drivers, supply technicians, infantry. Attacks can happen anywhere. Convoys, bases, command posts. This training has to stick. Lives depend on it.
Get away from them! Go! We will help them! Go! Get away! We will help them! Go! 3 casualties!
Once again, experienced soldiers role-play as Afghan citizens.
I can see! All civilians!
The intent is simple. Real-life scenarios. Action they will face in Afghanistan.
We will help them! Go! Go! We will help them! Help me! We will help you! Go! Go now! Go now!
Chaos, confusion, stress.
Get back!
This exercise is constructed to test and challenge the students. What seems like a simple rescue is often complicated. In war, suicide bombers set up these kind of ambushes.
We've got one more casualty laying just outside the door of the car. I can see him still moving.
They draw soldiers into an accident scene, then strike. Soldiers must act cautiously.
What I want you to do is push out this direction, get around the vehicle.
Fight the instinct to help. The area must be properly secured before care can be provided.
Another one approaching 11 o'clock.
Give him a warning shot if we have to warn him off. Keep an eye on him. That one right there on the left. Seen?
Danger lurks in the chaos. Every movement is measured, calculated. It has to be.
There's another one coming on to 12 o'clock. Shadaza, stay back!
A mistake can be deadly for everyone.
What's going on here is the TCCC people that are on this course are trying to take care of the Afghan civilians. Huge language barrier, difficulty with trying to find injuries, makes it as real as we can simulate it for what's going on in Afghanistan right now. Medically, they're doing the best they can with what they have. These people are going into Afghanistan in February. We need them as prepared as we can get them.
Spin her around, get ready to move.
Excellent job, guys. Very good. The only one minor thing, if you're going to do something, do it. Boom, boom, boom. Get it done, put the dressing on, and carry on. Your reassessing was excellent. Thank you very much.
That looked pretty good. All right? You got the idea. Secure the area. All right, we found out what was going on. We saw the accident. Okay, we put out a perimeter around it. Civilians are being extremely aggressive, and we tried to keep them away from us and get them away from the accident scene. Okay, because it was right within our cordon. Okay, so we were within the 20 meters for our clearing. They were there. Okay, the one thing that shouldn't have probably happened, Thompson, is going straight out past the civilians. Yeah, we should have stayed this side of it. Okay. Always remember, when you've got people that are between you and where you're supposed to clear to, you can't clear that far until they're gone. Okay, communication was happening, okay, and I like to see that. That's what I need to know. I need to know what's happening, where it's happening, and what's going on.
As far as the instructors, the people assessing us, they said everything went really good. A few minor problems, but for the most part, figuring we just started this last Monday, and all of us here probably just had standard first aid. And now, as we proved there, I know how to put an MPA in and save someone's life when they're not breathing. We know how to deal with sucking chest wounds. So we've moved up a step, medically speaking, when it comes to treating our own guys in combat as well as friendly injuries
and enemy energies. So we're coming along good. It's a good course, and we're going to be more prepared when we go overseas for sure.
Coming next, night combat, the ultimate test for our students. Night combat, the ultimate fog of war, perfect for deadly ambushes. History teaches a nearly defeated enemy is more likely to use the night to mask their attacks. In past conflicts, armies such as the Japanese and Viet Cong had become masters of the darkness. Their bold attacks in the night struck fear into the hearts of soldiers. Today in Afghanistan, the situation is no different. Ambushes can happen at any time, especially under the cover of darkness. Tonight will be no different for our soldiers in training. They must learn how to fight and how to give life-saving treatment to the wounded. In the complete darkness, this is critical training. Failure is not an option. People will die if they don't learn the lessons now. It is 4:30 in the morning. It's cold. Very cold. As the first patrol heads out, every footstep these soldiers make cracks loudly through the still, icy night air. It is virtually impossible to mask their presence. Though it is only an exercise, the darkness has added a very real element to the training. Fear.
Okay, they know we're here now, boys.
They know we're here.
Contact, get down! We got 2 friendlies down from what I can see. Moving now! Yeah, machine gun!
I can't see them.
I got 9 till 6.
I can't see nothing, man. I can't see where the fire's coming from.
It's coming from the building!
Help me, my leg, it hurts, we've shot!
Help, we've been shot! Ow! Ow! How far back are they going? Keep moving, let us go! Where does it hurt? Where does it hurt? Breathing for me.
You've been shot, you're casualty now.
Okay, I got one cut!
You've been shot, you're down now. Your arms are missing.
You can't attempt fire? No! Sarge, we got 2 guys down, myself and somebody else behind here.
Okay, we've got 200 casualties here.
Can't move my arms!
We got your rifle. Pick one rifle of the ground there. If you need more ammo, take some ammo with the casualty. Okay, fire weapon. Get your fire weapon. Oh, my hands are blowing off.
Like deadly ghosts in the night, the enemy soldiers successfully ambushed this patrol. The soldiers' first priority is not to aid their wounded comrades. First, they must win the firefight.
We'll take care of the casualty.
Their survival depends on it.
Well, first off, they got to fight the fight. It's as simple as that. They can get their casualties if they're wounded. They can do self-aid to themselves and join in the fight. If they're not wounded, well, they're going to have to fight the fight first before treating any of those casualties, and that's what's happening now. They're setting up defensive perimeters and starting the battle against the enemy. Once they have the enemy under control, they can go back and take care of their casualties.
The QRF is the Quick Reaction Force. Their job is to lead the charge to save the pinned down soldiers. Time is of the essence. Their comrades are depending on them.
Okay. You're on the right. You're bypassing the house.
Go, 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 go! Come on, move it up! To the northeast! Spread down to the left! Find out! Keep pushing! 3 sections! Straight to your front! section, 2IC, command is moving up.
Everybody in the area has been killed. Now that they're not having any fire, what they're going to do is the on-scene commander, being the sergeant major, they're starting to prioritize casualties once they bring them to the CCP, which is the casualty collection point.
On 19er, I acknowledge 5 minutes for arrival of wheeled assets.
Then I need to reassess.
Okay. He's got 2 guns coming into his legs, coming to supply, and he passed out on the way over here. Okay, what are you gonna do? We're gonna reassess this airway.
It took them a while to get the initial action. They took a lot of injuries right away, so the medical resources are very limited. Now that they have the casualty collection point set up, they have them appropriately triaged, priority 1s, priority 2s, reds, greens. Now they're getting them ready to load in the M's according to their severity. Checking the bandages every time they move, folks, so things seem to be going well now that the command and control has been reestablished here.
Please don't leave us here, Canadian soldiers, help us!
Okay, some of these soldiers are going to come in and give you some assistance.
Thank you!
Okay, what's their crew?
Grab a seat.
Let's go! All right. Prepare this guy!
Right here.
You're gonna be just fine.
It's been a long night for our soldiers. They've passed the test, won battles, performed treatments, saved lives. Thanks to the medics and the tactical combat casualty care training, now they're ready for the real thing.
Right now, the mass casualties that we've had over the last 6 to 8 months, every soldier, right down to private, has to know how to deal with the combat-related injury. Okay, whether it's a life-threatening injury or whether it's just a graze on the shoulder. They have to know what to do, when to do it, and exactly who to take those people to and how to get them out of the area. It's an excellent course. Every soldier in the military should have it, and eventually, once it gets up and running full speed, every soldier, I'm hoping, will have it.
Graduation parade at Canadian Forces Medical School. Another group of well-trained medics await their new orders. They can be deployed anywhere in Canada or around the world. Base hospitals, clinics, UN missions, combat. These are the young people who will make a difference. They are motivated by one thing. It's what calls them out of bed every morning. Compassion. To help the injured, the suffering, the less fortunate. For they are more than soldiers. It's more than a job. It's their calling.
Medics love their job because we have the opportunity to do our job every day, to be able to look a guy in the eye and know that you can do something to take his pain away, or give him the care that that he may not be getting from anybody else, or just to even be that helping hand, someone to actually sit there and talk to him when he's going through a tough time. It's an honorable experience to be able to do that.
Puisque c'est leur rôle, c'est leur mission, ils vont faire face à tous les dangers pour réussir cette mission-là. Puis ils savent que les gens avec qui ils déploient comptent sur eux pour les sauver. Donc, ils vont le faire.
Oh, I love my job. Because I make a difference. I know I make a difference. When I'm in theater, it doesn't matter if I'm in theater or here on base working in the unit medical station or up the base medical clinic, people come in with problems. It may be a cold, it may be a laceration on a hand. I've been taught skills that I can use to help these people. And every day you make a difference.
I think being a medic has developed me as a person. It's given me a lot of honor. It's given me respect for my fellow man. It's given me a chance to be able to look in the mirror every day and say that, I help people when they need help. I will go to them when it's needed. It's given me a chance to, you know, see the world, see how other people live and maybe make an impact upon their life. I love my job. I love what I do. I love who I am because of what I do. I love being part of the military as a medic, and I'm going to continue to be a medic.
Got an amputated left arm.